There are a lot of changes that take place at Marquette over the summer, whether it's dorm renovations or policy changes. But this year, one of those changes has caused a lot of contradiction. It's a sound that many college students are familiar with. But with a revised alcohol policy at Marquette, the sound will become less and less common. Aaron Lazar is the Assistant Dean of Students and sat down with me for an interview to explain the changes that took place.
There have been pretty significant changes to both the alcohol policy as well as the drug policy, and most of it has to do with how the policy was organized.
That reorganization was made clear to students in an email by Dr. Christopher Miller, Marquette's Vice President for Student Affairs, on August 21st. The email stated that students found responsible for violating the alcohol and/or drug policies will be assessed a fine. Fines vary based on the severity of the violation and previous violations and will be assigned in addition to alcohol use assessments and educational sanctions currently being used.
This year it says the following behaviors are violations, and here are Category A violations, Category B, Category C.
The variations of the fine are immense and range anywhere from $50 for a Class A offense or $750 plus university suspension for a second offense under Class D. And when asked why the changes were made,
it was determined that it made sense to categorize violations because not every violation of the alcohol policy is as serious as the others.
A serious Class D offense would be providing minors with alcohol, whereas a less serious Class A offense would simply be a minor in the possession of alcohol. Some students see a different consequence of the policy change.
It could just make people drink in other places. It's extremely easy for any kid to obtain alcohol from older friends or just from anywhere, really.
And that could potentially lead students to more danger than before.
If they choose to go off campus, hopefully they choose to still employ safe practices, and if they choose to drink underage, they're aware that what the consequences may be off campus.
Opinions on campus about the change vary.
I actually think it's a pretty good policy. I think it's going to keep a lot of kids out of trouble, and there's just going to be less chaos in the middle of the night, and everyone's just going to be able to relax more in their dorms.
I don't mind that they instituted a new policy, but I think that their rules are a little bit over the top for such a quick change.
I don't want to fine, but at the same time, I do understand what the university is talking about. I mean, it's a private institution, so they're allowed to do what they want.
I think that's a little bit strict of a policy. I think it's college, and I think that's a good time to experiment.
Students' opinion on this policy change obviously vary, but the university says the policy is set in stone. Reporting from outside Zober Hall, Max Hess, MUTV News.